Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV. Gonna be casting a game between Liquid Teaja and some Korean Smurf. Just all I's and L's, I believe that is. No clue who this guy is, and he doesn't want us to know, but doesn't mean we can't cast his game. He is playing against Liquid Teaja, so it must mean he is pretty darn good. If you don't know who Liquid Teaja is, he is Liquid's newest Terran player, and he used to be on Slayers, and before that he was on Nex. I think Nex made Zenix, so this may be the clan Nex. I don't really know what he was before Slayers, but he was on Slayers, and then he moved over to Team Liquid, and his playstyle reminds me a lot of like Empire Kaz, except Teaja involves a lot more micro. He has got the macro of Empire Kaz, but he's also got the APM of Hero. Just a great member for Team Liquid, and he is playing against, I don't know who this is. Can't really talk about him. He will be known as Korean Protoss Smurf, whatever I feel like calling him at the time. Does throw down a pylon right at a normal time, and we'll see what he ends up doing, if it's going to be a 13 gate or 12 gate. Looking like it is going to be a 13 gate. The probe is coming back, and we'll see. Maybe he is going to go for a Nexus first build. Hasn't decided to throw down a gate just yet. And Teaja, he does go for a barracks, and if Teaja does scout this Nexus first, he can easily just throw up a proxy barracks like right here, get a tech lab on it, build Marauders, and go in for the cancel on this Nexus. It works all the time. And we'll see exactly how Teaja does respond to this. It is going to be a 15 Nexus, it looks like. The probe just scouting around, just making sure there's nothing waiting for him. And also you can bring a few SCVs to do bunker rushes. There's all sorts of things you can do against a Nexus first Protoss. The question is, does Teaja actually go out to scout? His barracks is just about completed. We'll see what this SCV ends up doing. Generally, they build another supply depot right here and then go and head out of the base. Teaja not going to be putting that supply depot. Now this probe is going to be able to get into Teja's base possibly, but it's going to be going in the wrong direction. And this is something I don't like. The Nexus first is great, don't get me wrong, but the scout is a little bit late. If you're going to go for Nexus first, you really got to get in the Terran opponent's base. And a lot of the times you will just get completely walled out. Teaja is being nice before he even scouts this. Does throw down a command center. And here we go, his SCV is about to come in. We'll see this Nexus first, and he went for a 1 Rax expand. So not too far behind. But I think Teaja would have been much better off scouting after the 9 pylon, just so he gets inside of Teja's base and makes sure he's not going to be blind countered. Because when you go for that Nexus first build, you can easily get blind countered. So hard, but Teaja going to be being the respectful player he is. Just macroing up. He's like, okay, well, I went for a 1 Rax expand. Not too bad. We do have the SCV still alive for Teaja, and he is going to be able to see exactly what this Protoss player is doing. Sees, okay, still just on 1 gas. If he saw another gas already, that would mean some funky things. Maybe a lot more gateways would be put up, because as soon as the sub next core finishes, you would be chrono boosting out sentries. But he's still just on this 1 gas. He knows, okay, you are playing relatively standard, or at least as standard as you can go from a Nexus first. Also, if there was another gas, other things to watch out for is like a very quick Stargate, DTs, or even Colossus play, since Teaja is showing that he is going to just macro up as well. And the Protoss player does not scout that, did not get to see the command center there, so he is completely in the dark, and that is all again because how late he sent this scout out at. If he sent it out after the pylon, then you get in the base, see exactly what is going on, and could formulate a plan, but right now a Protoss player is just playing completely blind, which isn't all bad. I mean, if you're just working on your mechanics or something in particular, you may want to do this. And just don't go for those blind wins, because oftentimes you can build order counter your opponent, but you don't really take anything away from that game. The Stalker is going to micro back. The bunker did target that. Zealot does get on pass, and he will be trying to take out an SCV. But nice block from Teaja, killing that Zealot with ease. But again, as I was saying, if you just play to build order your opponent, build order counter your opponent on ladder and win all those games, you're not really improving. So even though Teaja knows this is a Nexus first, it's not like he's likely to go for a proxy barracks on the ladder, just again because, well, what's he going to do? He's going to win the game, sure, but after that, he's not going to really do anything. We do have Teaja being really sneaky, building a 3rd command center and landing it over at the 6 o'clock base. Meanwhile, a Protoss player, he is just very happy on this Nexus first. He is going to go for a double forge, and he's just at 3 gateways right now. Has Teaja thrown any scans off? No, he hasn't, so he's playing relatively in the dark as well. But at least he has gone into his opponent's base and going to take out that one probe. And now the Stalkers are going to be cutting back. The Marines aren't going to leave this bush, just because if they leave it, the Stalkers can just kite them to no end. So as long as they're in here, the Stalkers can't see them. They are safe. But the second they leave that, the Stalkers can just begin on kiting them. So the Marines do stay by. He does have a bunker up with a few Marines back at home. He is on 3 bases. And this could take a Protoss player by surprise, just because, again, very sneaky play out of Teaja. Do have the double forges, going to be upgrading, getting 1-1 right now. And it looks like he may throw down 2 more gateways. Nope, instead he's going to go for a robo facility, so I don't think he's going to be too aggressive. He may poke in, but he's not going to commit to anything, just again because he is on 3 gates. Wants to go up to Colossus play or even Warp Prism play. This one base may not be so good if a Warp Prism does come out and scouts this immediately. Could lose a few mules and a lot of SCVs. The command center, of course, would lift up and just go to safety, but he would be in trouble against that. We do have the robo facility gonna finish. I think he's gonna get an observer out just because he hasn't seen anything from Teaja. He did get up here, didn't see the gases immediately, but around the 10 to 12 minute mark, you have to worry about medevacs. Mainly at that 11 minute is when medevacs come out. At 12 minutes, they like to do drops. As long as you don't go for a 1-1-1 build and just rush up to starports. If you build like 3 barracks before your factory, which is very standard, then your medevacs are going to come out around 11 minutes, and your drops are going to hit right around 12 minutes. So we do have a probe coming out from a Protoss player, going to throw down a forward pylon. He should be getting an observer. Yes, he is. Going to go for those 3 more gateways that I said a long time ago before he threw down the robo facility, and he is getting blink as well. And with the blink and the observer, if he scouts this, he can just blink Stalkers up and deal with this. Kill a lot of SCVs off and be very happy and put Teaja back on 2 bases. The probe is going to come up looking for any ninja expands. Doesn't see any because Teaja is sneaky. Does hide it right here, and there are blockers here, so there's no way the Protoss can get there without using any type of air vehicles like an observer or a warp prism. Something along those lines. We do have the observer now going to be making his way into Teja's base, and we'll see how quickly Teaja can kill off that observer. There is a missile turret right here, and this observer could fly right into that, into the Marines, and go down very, very quickly. But he is going to avoid that ramp, maybe because of that. That's why he's not flying straight in, because this is where Teja's army is going to be. He'd rather just keep an eye and see what the army looks like before just getting killed. Of course, now he can go down here, but the army no longer up. Well, the army's not by the missile turret, so if the observer got right here, saw the missile turret, he would have time to go back. But Teaja is going to be moving on out. The observer does scout this one base, but again, Teaja is moving out. He is ahead by 40 supplier right now, but he is going with bioplay. That Colossus tech just about done. The Robo Bay almost complete, and that is a lot of Marines from Teaja. Going into the upgrades, Teaja also doesn't have upgrades. The Protoss player does have 1-1, is working on 2-2. That just about complete. Could finish any time between like the next 30 seconds or the next minute. Just because of Chrono Boost going back to these forges. Not going to be getting Chrono Boosted right now. And we're about to have Teaja just run in and Mace try to stem in. The observers, sentries are going to come down and force field the ramp. The observer above head. Gonna scan and kill that so that does not happen again. The factory gonna go in, get whatever scouting he can, or don't know if I like how that factory is going about its business. I'll talk about that a little bit later. We do have Teaja doing an elevator up top here, and if he moved the factory a little bit earlier and just had the factory floating right here, then when these units try to go up, the Stalkers would auto attack the factory due to the AI, and the Zealots could get caught behind them. So Teaja, not a huge fan of how he's using the factory. If it was a Marine King Prime, we know he would do that. The Colossus now popping out. But Teaja elevating even more units. That Colossus doesn't have range, so it is in the danger zone. And Teaja is going to stand, maybe try to take that Colossus out. You can see, no, it's not getting taken down. Great force fields by a Protoss player. The Zealots are stuck behind it. But the Colossus does live, and that is definitely what is important there. And meanwhile, we had a single Zealot go down, get 9 SCV kills using this one pylon. Very smart play by a Protoss player, just placing a pylon there, morphing in Zealots, and then this pylon does double as a medevac finder. because a lot of medvacs fly along this path to do drops. So he wanted a pylon here anyways. You can see him even building a pylon up here, just again so he can see for medevacs coming by so he doesn't get caught by drops. Probe is going to go down, does build a supply depot just before he does. The Marine is going to go and try to take out the pylon. The pylon is building just a little bit too fast, and we may have a Stalker or something morphed in up here. We'll see exactly what the Protoss player ends up doing. Teaja is ahead by 40 supply, but it is 2-2 upgrades versus the 1-1 of Teaja. Teaja is getting +1 ship weapon so he can deal with Colossus, but the 3-3 is on the way for a Protoss player, and that is a scary, scary time. Teaja is going to be taking a base all the way over here. The command center that was at the 6 o'clock position did just land right here. Protoss is finally going to take a 3rd base as Teaja does take his 4th base. And the Protoss player is probably thinking, oh man, I am in trouble right now. We still have the factory just hanging out right here. Teaja has maxed up quite a bit, and this is what I'm talking about Empire Kaz. He just has a lot of stuff. All of a sudden, Teaja just has bases just appear. There's no him trying to take bases. The bases just magically appear as they sprouted out of the ground or flew down from the heavens. And 2 Colossus right here, the sentries, and keep in mind the upgrades 2-2, just close. No, he's not really that close to 3-3. Never mind, so he's not going to try to hold on. The Zealots do have charge, and that is a lot of Marauders. He does have plenty of Marines. This one Ghost is going to be leading the way, and the Protoss player is in trouble right now. Going to target that Ghost down, and EMP does not go off. I don't think it does. What's that Ghost's energy at? Maybe it went off. I don't believe it did. And that one Marine is going to go down finally. Ghost is going to get taken out. Doesn't get an EMP off. Also takes out a Viking. Scan goes down, kills the Observer, and the Stalkers do blink back. We do have Teaja just going to macro up a little bit more. Maybe that was... No, I don't think it was a drop. I think he's just now transferring his probes on down. We do have Cloak on the way for those Ghosts, just in case an Observer isn't there. And he has been scanning and killing a lot of Observers. This one Zealot that went on a rampage, killing 17 SCVs, is now trying to take out the rocks and get freed. Stalkers are going to get under siege and blink back. One does fall. There's not that many Stalkers here, so those medevacs are going to be so good. Plenty of Zealots, though, from a Protoss player, but there's Zealots, probably too many Zealots at this point. And they're not going to get a good position. They're kind of clump up and not get us around on the units. Teja's ball is huge, but there are 4 Zealots, and oh my god, what a beautiful EMP. All the Zealots pretty much, and even almost all the Colossus, leaving 1 Colossus without that, but beautiful EMPs right from Teaja right there. And now the stim is going to go down, and the Protoss player is back himself into a corner, and he is forced to engage right now. Will he be able to hold this off? I don't believe so. Teaja just has so much stuff. The upgrades there for the Protoss player making a big effect. The Colossus is now going down. Teaja tugging that one very weak when the Colossus tries to go up to the high ground. Does not make it. And the Protoss player is going to try to hold on just barely with Warpins. I think he may be able to hold on a little bit longer. Teaja putting those injured Marauders in the medevac. Now going to land it. Doing some great micro right there. And we have a GG from the Protoss player. Teaja does take that game. What an excellent game. Hope you guys enjoyed Teaja play. I know I did, and whoa, my SC2 gears is closed. So,
updates available.
Let me just get into this game really quick so we can see Teja's APM and whatnot. And I just have to give a big shout out to Team Liquid and Teaja for uploading these replays, because Teaja now is in the round of 16 of GSL after eliminating someone. I think I already spoiled it. Dongray Goo. Sorry, guys. I know that did just happen, but it's already all over Team Liquid, all over Reddit. So, I'm sure you guys already got spoiled. But we'll go over to Teja's game right now. There we go. So, we're going to look at the units. We have Teaja with 84 SCVs, 72 Marines, 32 Marauders, 17 Vikings versus the 90 Probes, 61 Zealots, 26 Stalkers, only 4 Colossus, so he did keep them all alive till the very bitter end. But what really is the cool thing is the ability tab. We do have 6 scans going down, not that many, but he did kill a lot of Observers with those. And how many Observers were built? Is it 6 Observers? I would be willing to say it is 6 Observers. 3 Observers, okay. So, he did kill 3 Observers with 6 of those scans. We have 6 EMPs going off. 6 is the magic number of Teaja, apparently. 17 stems, not too interesting. 13 force fields, 38 chronos versus the 32 mules. Relatively even. The APM tab. We have Teaja at a 41% redundancy, Protoss at 44% redundancy, Macro at 113, Macro 145, so Protoss has a little bit more micro, Teaja with one more macro APM at 111 to 110, overall EAPM 131 to 142. Pretty high up there. Not the highest, but not bad. Resources spent, Teaja, of course, mining a little bit more because he was on more bases. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that game. I would love to go through more of the decision making, but the Protoss player did play blindly throughout most of that game. So there's nothing he really scouted. Teaja, just playing it safe, and I hope you guys enjoyed the game. Take care, and I will see you